interestingly, I'm not generating a lot of hip pain when I examine you.
Yeah.
So none of those sort of even the more extreme tests for me are generating what I would consider to be joint-related symptoms. So sort of reeling back after you sort of described your symptoms to me, I'm thinking, well, there could be some joint symptoms there. I still think that may be the case, but the examination is not really pushing me hard towards that as a causative factor, actually. And I'm really, what I'm doing when I'm stressing your hip or putting it in extreme positions, really, I seem to be generating more of that muscular pain, which seems to be quite anterior, sort of TFL, which is right at the front. It's one of the muscles that we'll talk about. Possibly anterior gluteal pain as well. But again, it wasn't the most exciting examination, if I'm honest. We didn't get an awful lot of positive findings.
I think that possibly this is, in some ways, a more interesting examination, because it's bloody irritating when patients come in and you can't find what's wrong with them if there's no glaringly obvious positive test.
Yeah, well, that's very true. And I think that...
not for you, of course. You want something glaringly obvious that we can fix, I know.
Yeah, and I think, but in some ways it's good as well, because if we're getting strong positive findings on all our tests, it generally does suggest that there's some things we're going to find. But actually, if we're not finding huge amounts in a situation where your hip's not flared up, then we might not, it's essentially be looking at quite such a troublesome picture.